Sky Sports pundit Jamie Carragher apologized for spitting in the direction of a 14-year-old girl and her father 8 times during an emotional interview with Sky News on Monday afternoon. Carragher, who has been suspended by Sky, was speaking to Sky News presenter Sarah Hewson. Here, Sportsmail brings you the transcript in full. Sarah Hewson: "So Jamie, I'm recoiling watching that. It is disgusting. How do you feel when you see it back?" Jamie Carragher: "Exactly the same. You can't obviously condone that behavior no matter what in any way, shape or form. No matter where you are or who you're representing, as I am with Sky Sports now, family and the most important people really who are probably most affected are the family involved and especially the 14-year-old daughter. Why did you do it?" A moment of madness which is difficult to explain. Watching those clips back, it feels like an out-of-body thing. Just that moment of madness for 4 or 5 seconds. No matter what the circumstances, for anyone you can ever behave like that. That is just unacceptable. You describe it as a moment of madness, but you were a professional footballer for years. You should have been used to banter far worse. To be honest, that is again when you're actually thinking to yourself, why did you react? Because that is part of being a public figure. At times different things are said, but you never react like that. That's the only time I will react like that. It's the only time I will react again like that. I have no excuse. It's devastating for the family involved and also for my family, but I brought that on myself." "Tell me about that call." "I called the family. Obviously they were upset and disappointed last night. I spoke to the 14-year-old girl. That is my biggest regret. There's lots of regrets for what has happened, but certainly the biggest one is for the 14-year-old girl to be caught in the middle of this, of my altercation with the father. That devastates me a little bit more than anything else, as a young girl has become embroiled in this when she wasn't involved. But it doesn't matter who it was. There's no excuse at spitting at anybody." "Yeah, of course, but what I mean is a young girl feels slightly worse to me. I am in that position because I have a young daughter exactly the same age, and if somebody had done that, it's difficult for me to find the words to how I would react or what I would say to that person if I bumped into them or something, because the way that guy sees his daughter is the same way I see my daughter. It is my biggest regret, of course, all of it getting involved in that situation. And all I can do right now is apologize as much as I possibly can. I obviously can't go back, and I have done that with the family, and hopefully they accept that. I would like to do that again if possible." "What happens for you now?" "It remains to be seen. All I will say is that it is Sky's decision, not my decision." "Do you deserve to keep your job? Do you deserve to be there on Monday Night Football and the face of football?" "Again, that is not my decision. What I would say is there is no doubt what I have done on Saturday after the game is disgusting. I will apologize for it. I am being vilified, and rightly so, because if someone in that game had done that, I was commentating on the Manchester United vs Liverpool game, I would have to vilify them for the next few days. But what I would hope, not just for Sky but for the public who have known me for 25 years in the public eye since I started playing for, is that 5 seconds of madness will be not sort of take over everything I have done. People may or may not like me even before this incident, but hopefully going forward I can show the real me, as I don't think it was a real representation of me. And as I said, hopefully whether it will be Sky or the general public will look at the 20-odd years, and I have made mistakes in those 25 years. But the mistake I have made today is a huge one. I am well aware of that." "Have you offered your resignation or considered it?" "I haven't offered that, no. I am just speaking to people at Sky and working out a way to go forward for me and Sky." "Obviously you just read the statement and they are very disappointed, and understandably so. I have brought shame on the name of Sky Sports, the broadcaster. So much has been done in football and you're bringing the game into disrepute." "I agree, yes it has. You said earlier about role models. I think footballers, anyone in the role I do, anyone in the public eye is a role model, whether you like it or not, and people do look up to us and do look at our actions." "The world we are living in now, a lot of young people will have seen this clip as well. I'm a mum of 3, Jamie, and if my 5-year-old came home and spat, I would be absolutely horrified, and you're a grown man. I would be horrified at my own children. If I had done it at 5 or 6, then my own mother and father would be the same." As I said, it was difficult to explain. The moment of madness, 4 or 5 seconds where I have lost it basically. I wish I could go back and change it, but obviously that's not the case. All I can do now is obviously speak to you and speak to the family again and apologize as much as I can." "What about your own kids? What have they said about it?" "Disappointed obviously. A little bit upset, but..." Pauses, looks tearful. "You are highly paid and in a position of responsibility with it. What kind of message do you think you have sent out? A poor message of not just being about being in the game of football. It is a poor message for everyone out there. It is the lowest of the low. I think whatever I was brought up as a kid spitting was that. I have never done it before, and I can assure I will never do it again, But right now, as I said, all I can do is come in here, apologize, and try and back to the person I know I am. What can you say to people watching who you have let down? What do you say to them? I apologize because I know that it will put supporters, family and friends in a very difficult position. But the most important people I want to apologize to is the family involved, really, because they have been dragged into a media storm because of my actions, and I'm sure that won't be nice for them, especially the 14-year-old girl. For me, the people who know me or look up to me, that is for me to sort out. Hopefully I get the chance again to maybe apologize or meet up with the family face to face and show how sorry I really am. There's been a lot of reaction. The frustration got the better of you, but there are no excuses. Again, do you think you deserve to keep your job? Well, again, it doesn't matter if I say yes or no. That is down to the powers above. Listen, hopefully I can show people over these next days or weeks the real me, and as I said before, hopefully the moment of madness will not cloud judgment of what people have of me, whether it is good or bad. Of course, this is a bad stain on me and my character, my career if you like. The big thing I am really disappointed with is the daughter. I certainly did not want that to happen or get involved. My frustration and what I did, which was an absolute disgrace, was with the father. I am still struggling to understand why you are so frustrated. It was just light-hearted banter? This is the difficult bit for me, because I don't want to give a reason or people to think I am giving an excuse, and it happened 2 or 3 times, but I have had that plenty of times. It is part of being a public figure, and I have never reacted like that before, as I have had it before. I can't explain the reason for those 4 or 5 seconds why I reacted like that. It hasn't happened before and it won't happen again. This whole sorry incident which I have dragged this family into has obviously been devastating for them and close family around myself. And it has all come from me, so again there's not much I can add to it than improve my behavior going forward and apologize again to the family going forward and to those at home. I have to talk about the driving. You are busy arguing with someone who is also using his mobile phone while driving. The consequences could have been worse. Yes, it could have been, and that is something how bad today has been for everyone. The family, Sky Sports, myself. It could have been a lot worse. It obviously wasn't on the street. It was on a busy road coming out of a football ground. So we are probably very lucky people.